This is something just spur of the moment that I thought of, but it's very useful to all you men and cowgirls and cowboys, and then children as well. All through your life you'll use this. This will be very important in your men's work, and the cowgirls tie their little calf up, putting a rope on her horse, tying her dog without choking her dog. A lot of things. I'd like to have me a little volunteer. Jana, why don't you come? Let me just get Jana because she knows what I'm, and then I'll get someone else. I'm going to show you 5 different knots. It is very important. You'll use these all your life if you do any kind of work, men tying lumber on their truck, everything like that. And I'm going to name them. Now, in spinning the rope, his brother Les was showing, okay, before Connie and Bud Dow leaves, let's give them a big hand. We'll see you out at the ranch. We didn't know he was leaving. I didn't want you to miss this, but I'll show you out the ranch. No. As he was showing you in spinning a rope, and I've just got a little rope here. See how this rope slides? Well, this knot right here is called a hondo. And you tie it by making 2 turns and coming over the top. And a hondo is in every lariat, every rope that you rope a cow with, anything you do, there is a hondo. See, and what it does is when you rope, you pull up the slack, like on a cow. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, honey. Was that okay if I used you? I didn't mean to rope you. I roped you too quick. But give her a big hand. Okay. If you're roping wild horses, if you're roping bulls, big horns, a hondo, the purpose of that hondo is where, if you'll notice a while ago, is a man with the whips and the ropes. He started out with a small loop. Same thing in roping. I'll get straight here in a minute. Now, if you're roping out a calf or a cow, a small calf has a small neck. So, look at my loop. See how it's small? But as I let my hand slip, look what happens. It gets bigger. See that? Well, if I'm roping a big steer, and I want to get over that rack of, if I'm roping a big steer and I want to get over that rack of horns, I've got to have a very big loop, or I won't catch it. See? And aiming, roping is aiming. And this is just a little bit about it. You don't rope like this. You'll never catch nothing. You didn't aim. But see, I aimed at you, that's why I caught you. See, I aimed at you. And how you do that, just like shooting a gun, throwing a rock, throwing a stick, you get your rope up like you're, see, look how I'm doing. I'm looking right straight, and I'm going to put that loop right over what I'm throwing at. See, and if I'm aiming, I'll catch what I'm throwing at. Okay, thank you. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Cowboy Lee. Yahoo! When I raise my hat like that, Yahoo, okay? Okay, Jana, this is my granddaughter, a pretty young cowgirl. Come over here, dear. And you can turn this way and face your out. Good gracious, she's taller than me. How did that happen? You know. But anyway, what I want to do is show y'all those 5 knots. The first one, hondo, ropers. Okay, Jen, turn me and just hold your arm out like this. The first knot I'm going to show you is called a slip knot. We've done second knot. Thank you. First knot, hondo. Okay. See, this slips. But if you caught something and you didn't want to choke it, you don't want to use that knot, because the more you pull, the tighter it gets. But watch this. You tie what's called a bowline knot. Throw it around like this. Throw it to the front, stick it through, come around. There's your bowline. And see, a bowline, it can slip neither way. When you put that on something's head, you pull him, you won't choke him. See, it's called a bowline knot. Now that's your second knot. Now, let's go to the third knot, and you'll see what I mean. The third knot is called how'd this be? You know, we're talking about catching a cow, so I bet this is called, there's a bowline and there's called a slip bowline. And what does that sound like? It sounds like one, if it's a slip, you can take it a loose easy, don't it? But it's a bowline, you won't untangle that. You won't get that. If you you got a big rope and you pull 2 trucks, you pull a bowline knot, you'll never untie it. You know why? Because you pull it down so tight, you have to take your knife and cut it. But look at this. This right here is called a slip bowline. Same principle. And it looks simple to do these knots, but it's real good to know them, because as Brother Marlowe could tell you, there's a certain way to tie a ship up, isn't it, Brother Marlowe? You got to tie it correctly. Same way with tying a horse, a dog, a cow, anything. This is called the third knot. Now let's go into that one. I won't be lengthy. It's called a slip bowline. Throw your loop in the front, stick it through. But bring your drag. See my hand, put that drag there? Watch. Okay. You can pull that just as hard as you want to, and it'll never come undone. But look here what happens when you pull this. See? Okay. This is called and any of you boys in the Bible class Brother Mike was doing, I was going to show some of these things to the boys because they're real helpful to them. But you just throw it forward, drop it through, like tying a tie. Grab that and drop it, pull it down. And that's a slip bowline. Okay, that's the fourth one, right? Fourth one. Yeah. Okay, let's go to number 5, and then that'll be. Come on in, Buddy Bradford.
Buddy Bradford.
Okay, we're down to 4. Does everybody remember the knots? The first one was a hondu, a bowline, and then a slip bowline. And we've got one more. This is called slip knots. And this is why it's called that. See all these little knots? I like to say, many of you men already use that knot right there to tie a load down on a truck of lumber. But the reason they're called slip knots, watch what happens to all 4 of those knots. Watch what happens. Now take it down. Okay, that's your 5 knots. Okay. You can go and get them. Okay, one more thing, or 2 more things, or maybe 3 more things, but I don't want to be late because I don't know what our time was anyway. Close? Okay. I was going to, I thought I was going to go to Sebring to be at my sister's for her